to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. You can find this good guy doll of a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is our ridiculously awesome co-host, Winter Trash Monk.
Well, you're too kind, but you're definitely right. This is Winter coming at you. That's Trash Monk.
You're gonna break something one of these days.
And that's just the wake-up call for you. And the song of the week is Everybody Wants Them by Van Halen, everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, you I too hard, and you're gonna like pull your jejunum, dog. You know,
jejunum.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna pull my midi-chlorian count down.
Oh no, man! Then you're gonna be able to be abducted by Xenu, dog. You don't want that. You know,
and we're back.
Fear the Galactic Tormentor, my dude.
Yes,
you better fear him. He's out there, just floating. It's in the clouds, like
we don't need to develop more of the Masters of the Nerdiverse mythos.
No, just you know that one meme of like that one country singer like hitting a high note in the clouds. Yeah, he's like holding his hands. I think that's just Xenu, dog.
Just Xenu.
It's just he's in the clouds like Mufasa, just hitting that high note for all eternity.
Get thee out of that place if that is Xenu.
Yeah, man. I don't want any of that. Just, like, is he gonna do anything else? Like, nah. That's what
Unless
he does.
Scientology wants to sponsor the podcast, then
I don't know. Not all money's good money, my dude.
You wouldn't take money from an Arab prince to start this podcast?
No, because he's gonna have requests, man, and I don't know if I can fulfill those requests, man.
Like what? See, watch Taken 3?
I don't know, man. He's just gonna show up to the house one night with a Bengal tiger and give me a suitcase of requests.
Yeah,
you know, I can't.
Fun
I'm not
fact,
that responsible.
I'm sure everyone knows this, but you know, Texas has the largest amount of tigers in captivity.
Yeah, because people are stupid, dog. Why would you have this around?
All right,
like okay. No one's gonna deny that baby lions and tigers are cute. You know what I'm saying? They pounce and stuff. But you got to feed those things, and they get like waist high.
You're acting like it's like what the plant? From,
it's like the alligators in Florida, man. Yeah, it's literally Feed Me Seymour, and after a while, you're gonna start looking like a snack, dude.
Yeah,
like I don't want anything in my house that I can't just like, if it comes down to it, have a Mortal Kombat moment and be the victor, dude. Like I don't want nothing floating around the house that can just take me out when it feels like it. You know what I mean?
By the way, I just was scrolling down my Facebook page, and because I can double multitask, and there's some synth artist that popped up. I don't know why, but her name is Holographic Catholic.
That's a pretty dope name.
And her catchphrase is "Forgive me, Father, for I have sensed."
Okay, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, from Riverside, California, folks. Go check her out on Bandcamp.
Check her out on Bandcamp. I'm sure her stuff is banging, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like a driver too.
Yeah, man. It sounds like you're playing Watch Dogs or something. You know, Watch Dogs.
You're playing Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till that comes out, my man. I'm going to be listening to some Deadmau5 and just be in my room with the disco lights on for like 2 months. Not leaving the house, man. Just going to be playing that all day. Dude. Yeah. Speaking of being in the house, what did you do this week, man?
Man, so we have a secret project going on.
Yeah, right now. It's bubbling. It's bubbling. It's cooking.
Well, there was another call for a script for a audio drama. So I just quickly whipped one out of thin air. Just came up with the concept and threw it out.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Well, I was toying with the idea before, but it's essentially mixing all my worlds. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it.
Don't do it.
Just to let you know, I'll be providing links if it ever gets produced. But
yeah, man, we'll send them out to the 4 winds like dandelion spores, man. Yeah, let everybody know.
And if I get accepted, I'll get a whole $10.
There you go. Yep. Dinner's on winner tonight, baby. Oh, I like my steak medium rare, dog.
I don't know what type of steak you're gonna get for $10. Well,
it's rat meat.
Just be $10. A rat meat steak.
They would have to
it would have to be like a chuck steak that's been
man.
Like
you know what
up like 50 rats.
you know what a rat king is?
Yes.
It would just be a rat king. You just throw it on the grill.
No, those are not real.
That's a real thing, dude.
Rat kings are not real.
Rat kings were super real during the Black Plague in Europe and stuff, man. They were just in the walls.
Well,
it really happened, man.
Yeah. If the Rat King is real, we could even just go. That's one step closer to ancient aliens, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude,
if you don't know what a Rat King is, it's essentially what happens. What it's suspected. It's what people have made up, in my view, of like when a bunch of rats are like in a confined space, that they start to conjoin, and eventually you just have what was originally 5 rats is just one big mess of can't move anywhere.
It's really disgusting, dude. Yeah, man. I'm sure there's some exterminator in Brooklyn who just found one like yesterday, dog. You know?
No.
Rat kings are ultra real, man. I believe that in my heart.
You would have to stop rats from eating each other before that to happen.
No, man. When 2 rats fall in love, they make a rat king, dog.
No.
Yeah, man. That's how it works.
I don't know what your parents have been telling you, but that's not a rat king.
That's an ultra rat king. That's all I'm saying is, for a $10 steak, it's probably that.
Okay.
You just throw it on the grill. You add some seasoning and salt. I'm not above eating Steakums, dog. And Skrimps. I'll kill some Skrimps right now, bro.
I've never had that.
It's not shrimp.
Just know it's the poop vein from all the shrimp.
Yeah, it's just the poop vein and whatever meat comes along with it, dog.
Oh, that's gross. You're making me gross.
How was your week? My week was full of Steakums and Skrimps, dog. Yeah, man. This is how we get down. My week was all right, man. Just kind of toying with the fact of picking up Fallout 76. I've been watching nothing but streams about it just to get the full idea. Like, there's one guy I want to just hawk because his channel is awesome. His name is Oxhorn, and all he does is like... Oxhorn is cool. He just smokes cigars and talks Fallout. That's all I've ever seen him do. He's a real chill cat. Check him out on YouTube. And he was just doing 9-hour beta streams. He's just like just not going anywhere. And just running through the game and like reading lore and stuff. And half of me is like, yeah, this is what I'll question by first day. But then every time I open up a news article, it's like, if you downloaded the beta, you can't delete it off your hard drive. Like, what? Like it's super nutty stuff. Like, the game is so bugged. I'm afraid to buy it because I don't want to download it and it brick my PS4 or something. You know what I mean? So I'm really just going to wait and just wait until like the first big patch happens, and then I'll buy it.
All right.
So I've just been watching streams about that. I did my first scripted segment on the channel, which came out today, which was really hard to do, which is the MOT Inquisition. So I was working on writing that all week, just kind of tightening that up, and it still came out just okay, in my opinion. So I got a lot of work to do when it comes to doing those. It's just a different beast, but I'm happy I was able to get it done and just put it out there. Other than that, no real video games. Just haven't really watched a lot of movies. I wanted to go see Overlord, but I just couldn't pull away from the script to do it. But I'm hearing really good things about it, so I kind of want to go see that. So pretty slow week for Mike G. Just work and Skrimps. Just about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. Hey, man.
Yeah. It's one of those weeks, man. It can't all be champagne and filet mignons, dog. And champagne. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's when you're classy. Go to a fancy restaurant. How much is the filet mignon? And it just stare at you. And it asks for you to pay for your meal up front. Yeah. Just you. That's how you know you're doing it. Oh, man. Speaking of doing stuff, you want to get into this news, my dude?
Yeah. Time to get into the
news. That's so stupid. Sorry. Let's get over the biggest news first. Let's just do it, because it's something I haven't really been talking about, but I figured this is the best place to talk about it. And that's the Pokemon trailer. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about celebrate. What'd you say?
Dang it.
Dang it. You have to wait.
Yeah.
It's like Mitch Hedberg.
Peek in my interest.
Oh, no. Raised eyebrow. We got to eat our meat before we can have our pudding, sir.
Yeah.
You can't have your pudding until you eat your meat. And the beefiest, hardest thing to swallow this week, is unfortunately the passing of a titan. Man, like Stan Lee, the father of comics, passed away just very recently this week at 95. And I just didn't know. I didn't say anything for the first day or so. I just didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of speechless about it, you know?
Well, okay, guys. He's 95.
Yeah.
He
did it. He won.
Right.
He won life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like, there is no era of comic book making, as far as I can tell, that he did not have a part of.
Nope.
He has... that's the thing about, like, comic books. I mean... if any other avenue, there's hierarchies, there's it's their time to shine sort of thing moment, but it seems like Stan Lee and a few other overlords have always been at the top.
Yeah.
And so it's a dynasty conclusion.
It's like you mentioned, like there's been room for other people to take the reins,
right.
You know, like in most creative venue, like poetry, filmmaking for that matter.
Filmmaking
you know
would be an excellent
music, you know, like everyone has their time to shine, you know, from Orson Welles to Steven Spielberg, you know, that there's jumps, there's talent jumps,
right?
You know what I mean? But in comics, Stan has kind of been there since the beginning, because comics are still a very young, you know, it's almost like video games,
right?
You know what I mean?
Even if there was
a very
new
young
people, comics were like the original. The comics, from what I would know, like they would hire artists and hire writers to work underneath them. Like there's no, it's extremely hard to start your own comic book company.
Yeah.
So it would be, they're essentially the original Marvel Disney, the original Walt Disney.
Yeah, it's like Someone I was reading that on Twitter. Someone compared Stan Lee to Walt Disney, and I think
Yes,
that's
they
a
both
very
hated
apt
Jews.
comparison.
Uh,
Wow. No, they
no,
didn't. Stan Lee was a gem, beautiful man,
right.
and Stan Lee. It's like there's you can make a Mount Rushmore of most things. The
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of music, Mount Rushmore of directors, but really the Mount Rushmore of comics is Stan Lee, man. It's like
Whoa, okay,
if
okay.
I asked
Let's
you,
not go too far.
I'm just saying, like who who created Superman? I'm just not to put you on blast. I'm just. Do you think that's common knowledge? Who the two gentlemen that created Superman
Well, then you're
to
going like
non-nerds?
do you know all the people's heads on Mount Rushmore? Do you think the majority of
No,
people?
because I'm uncultured swine. But
Uncultured swine.
uncultured swine. But I'm just saying, like Stan Lee is just comics to
Does
so
that
many
mean that
people.
there's some cultured pigs out there?
Yeah, man, there were monocles.
There's
Babe was a cultured swine, dog.
is Animal Farm a
Yes,
documentary?
what was the pig's name in Animal Farm? Wilbur? Am I just making that up? Am I just making that up?
Okay.
I need to read a book, man, not a comic book. I'm just saying, like Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Stan Lee was a fighter for a lot of people who didn't have a voice. When DC was making the perfect males as Superman, the perfect detective, and Batman, Stan Lee focused on imperfect people. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like the nerd who really wasn't popular but has this amazing responsibility that he has to undertake. During the civil rights movement, he was like, I want to make a comic book about the people who are disenfranchised, who are looked down upon by society. So he created the X-Men. He's like, all right, who else can we work on? Blind, people who are handicapped, let them know they can still make a difference. Daredevil, you know what I mean? He created Black Panther, man. Like, like for young African Americans and African Americans reading comics, someone they can rally behind. Like that was his true motivation, one of his true motivations of making his version of Marvel Comics with like Jack Kirby.
I want to let's take a step back and not promote him for sainthood yet.
Okay.
We could I want to put him in kind of the category of like Robin Williams, which I just found out today. There's like a hidden like belief that he bought other people's jokes.
Well, that's
but we still hold him to like this is Robin Williams. He's one of the top 50 stand-up comics out there, or that was out there. Stan Lee, there's rumors about some theft, but that doesn't mean that he's not a titan in the comic book industry.
The thing about Stan Lee, and like you said, not to sanctify the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a mortal with problems, just like all of us.
Yeah.
But behind every Stan Lee quote unquote creation, there's another guy who worked with him. Like one of the biggest problems about Spider-Man, and this was kind of came out around when the very first Spider-Man movie came out in 2002, was that everyone just said, "Oh, Stan Lee created Spider-Man," but that wasn't the case. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man, and Steve Ditko was more of a low-key, I don't really want the spotlight, I'm the artist kind of dude. Like Steve Ditko created the design for Spider-Man, the iconic red and blue with the big giant bug eyes. He designed a Doctor Strange's look, you know what I mean? And for every Stan Lee, because Stan Lee was this big imposing force no matter what he did, you know what I mean? He was the showman. He sold it, you know what I'm saying? And for every Stan Lee, there was a Jack Kirby kind of cooking the meal as Stan Lee was selling it to the people out front. So I mean, like Stan Lee didn't do all this by himself, you know. And if there was theft of ideas, I can't really go towards any of those directly. But I think over the years, Stan has kind of given all the props to the people who helped him build these characters over time,
right?
You know,
right? And again, it's like I think it's kind of foolish just seeing like these creative things that we're doing, how they're not just a one-man team.
Yep.
even Alan Moore,
Yeah.
which is very fitting to bring up right now because there's a video of him talking about Stan Lee from like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, check that out.
Check that out. By
Yeah,
Chihuahua.
and his vision would have needed an artist,
Yep.
sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The writer can only go so far,
Yep.
and particularly in comic books, you need a team to work with.
Yep.
Um,
Teamwork makes the dream work, man. And a lot of people forget that. Like one of my favorite artists of all time, I fancy myself a little bit of an artist, man, but Jack Kirby was one of the
yeah,
great comic book artists of all time. He worked across both fences. He did designs for DC Comics and he did designs for Marvel because he was just the best. He was the king. And he's another name that's kind of overshadowed by the presence of Stan Lee. You know what I mean? Like, Jack Kirby's nowhere near a household name that Stan Lee has become. And may it be from the cameos where people know him now, and may it be from his Excelsior and like him just being out front. Stan Lee has always been out front for comics. And I think that was his superpower, was just making sure they didn't die, even during those rough 90s where Marvel was just about to go bankrupt and comics were dying because everybody was just picking up cell phones and not caring about comics or going to the movies. Stan was there, like holding, kind of holding the light as it rained on the torch, So I don't want this to be the Stan Lee podcast. I don't want to make it sound like I'm biased because I'm sure the man had his own shadows in his closet, but it's just, I wrote that he was the architect of my imagination. You know what I mean? Like without Stan Lee, geez.
Yes.
Who knows how it would have turned out if I didn't have comics to balance me out.
And now the real question is, are they going to do CGI cameos of him?
Nah, that would be too much, man. Like, like we're going to be watching Avengers 4 and we're going to see his final cameo and people are going to cry, dude. It's going to jack people up. And I don't think it would lessen him for them to just keep putting digital versions of Stan Lee and everything.
All right.
Like, that's like stealing his soul.
I'm going to get upset. So we're going to... That's a bit much.
What do you mean? Like, just talk to me. What do you mean?
I don't want to be I'm trying so hard not to be the Grinch here.
Go for it, dude. Grinch. That's the whole point. Just, that's the whole point. It's disgusting, though.
It is like crazy to me to go like, if you like just watch the news, death, destruction, burning, death, destruction, burning, death, destruction, burning, totally numb to it. And then you go to the movie theater and you go, oh, the 95-year-old died. I'm going to cry.
Here's the thing, man. We are a society of creature comforts. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Okay. By the way, Nerdiverse is now turning into deep philosophy talk.
Deep philosophy 101. Yes. We go there sometimes. Yes. We're masters. You have to understand. Yes. People go to these things as escapism, right? It's all about escapism.
Exactly.
Our country, not to get too political, is kind of messed up right now. Not kinda. And if you just sat around and thought about that all day, you'll go insane. So we go to comics, we go to movies, we listen to music, we listen to podcasts to kind of drown ourselves out from that. So, currently right now in the state of California, it's just on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The entire state's on fire. It's like, it's hard to breathe. But I come home and I listen to some music and I zone out, and I may get emotional during a song, but I haven't shed a tear about the fires in California because, as the Joker would say, it's all part of the plan, right? Oh. It's part of the apathy that is the news. People don't want to hear that. People want to go and see Iron Man. And so they get touched when they see this old grandpa, the grandpa of comics passed away, and we get to see him one last time doing what he loved, which is shaking hands with Iron Man and Spider-Man and just being kind of cool,
right
So
I could see that.
I think that's, you know what I mean? It sucks. Like I wish the world was more empathic towards the pain and the suffering of everyday life, but
I guess,
people pick their poison on what
yeah.
the hills they die
Just,
on.
I guess I'm just asking for like degrees of there's degrees of sadness. Like instead of going you're not sad or you're sad, there's like I'm not sad, I'm kind of sad, I'm really sad,
Yeah,
I'm not going out today sad.
yeah,
Just
man.
having degrees of that, and also just remembering that he lived a full life. Like I'd be
Oh man,
happy.
you can't get much fuller than that,
Yeah,
dude. You
yeah,
know,
and just that's all I got to say. The Grincha.
this is a
Yeah.
celebration. This moment we had was just a celebration of the man's
Uh-huh.
life and what how much he meant to so many people, how much he meant to me, and how his influence
Yeah.
has shaped my likes and dislikes, man. So
Yes.
here's
How it?
here's to
Yeah.
him, you know.
There's a generation of people who know who he is, know that they know who a comic book maker is.
Yeah, because of him,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know. He Stan the man, man. It's like don't it's going to take a couple of generations for them to be another like him,
Yes.
you
Okay,
know.
let's
So
stop making out with him. Let's go to the next.
slobbering him down.
Yeah.
Excelsior. Yeah, that's a gross idea. Speaking of other things that are going to make you cry, there was the Toy Story 4 trailer that dropped this week. And
Yeah.
that's a cry. Apparently, Toy Story movies are only meant to make you cry now. They're not meant to entertain, which is what I'm getting from it going forward.
Yep.
Hey guys, you want to cry about Woody and not about the pains of the universe? Just go see Toy Story 4, which sadly got blown out the water by what Winter wants to talk about, which is that damned Detective Pikachu trailer, which was so
Yes.
nuts, man.
I had no clue this was in the works. So that when I saw it pop up on my feed, I'm like, this is amazing.
It's just the best, dude. It's
Yes. They're not trying to like. This is what I was always worried because I've thought about like Pokemon in real life,
yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah,
And they're not going for like let's make realistic versions really of like of Pokemon, but it's like let's take their cartoon look and make it like fit in the real world, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like, you know how there's people who like going back to Batman. There's Batman in the comic, but then if Batman was going to be in real life, he would look like this, and then you turn to Ben Affleck.
Correct.
Pikachu, it's like borderline. Like, he's a little furrier.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm stoked,
dude. Like you were mentioning, like there's tons of people who do. There's just one artist, I can't think of his name, who does realistic interpretations of Pokemon, and they're terrifying. You know what I mean?
right?
Or they're really boring and normal. Like Pikachu is just a mouse that's yellow, has a little rosacea on his cheeks. But this movie is so brilliant that it's like, no, they're gonna look like the Pokemon from the show, but we're gonna break the uncanny valley just enough to where it looks like if you poked it, it would be real. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's skin textures and fur textures, and the eyes well with water, and you can see into the iris, and it's just so smart how they decided to go about this. And it's totally
gotta make this 3D.
Yeah, and it's like tongue in cheek. It makes me think of like back in the day with Who Framed Roger Rabbit and like how far we've gotten. You know, what I mean? We're watching humans and cartoons interact, and it's not taking itself seriously. That's what I.
It's interesting that you do say that this is tongue in cheek. It's doesn't take itself seriously, and guess who's voicing Pikachu? Ryan Reynolds of Deadpool.
Captain, I don't take myself seriously.
Yes, and like his recent like app commercials. I don't know how much money he's getting paid for that.
Paid so much money, dude. Yes. He has to.
But by the way, I don't like named actors in my commercial. They're taking away jobs from actors and actresses that need it.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Anyways, this
But
has been brought to you by SAG.
I know, right? Bring money.
Yeah.
But just everything about it's just what I didn't know I wanted it until it's here. And I'm just like, yeah,
Right.
I'm all over it. I'm gonna go see this probably first day. It seems so fun. It just looks like fun. You know what I mean? It's gonna be silly and dumb, and there's gonna be inside jokes. They're like the Jigglypuff that's singing to the drunk guy at the bar. Like there's a scene where it's just a mad looking Jigglypuff. It's like that thing is nightmare fuel, dude. But it just looks so cool. I'm like the Charizards and the Bulbasaurs. Bulbasaur is my favorite, dude. I'm all for it.
It hit in this movie. The reason why I'm also excited about it because it's a movie for us nerds out there that are kind of like OD'd on superhero movies right now.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This is a breath of fresh air to see Pokemon just hanging out with people, like walking down a busy street. It's like,
no, I'm begging you, DC, and I'm begging you, Marvel, do not release a movie opening weekend for this. Please do not.
Man, they are savage enough to do it though. They'll release like Daredevil season 5 on the day it comes out just to boil it, dude. They don't care.
Right. Well, that's what happened with I think that's what happened with the upcoming Bad Boys movie.
Jeez, Bad Boys for life.
Yeah, where like it was supposed to release at a certain time, but then Avengers came out. Well, we're gonna have to wait on that.
The funniest thing is that Justice League was scheduled to come out, but Marvel then decided that Punisher season 1 is going to come out the exact same day.
Oh, jeez.
Nobody left the house, though. They're locked in. Oh man. Speaking of Marvel and Disney, we got our first look at the Disney streaming service called Disney Plus, and it's pretty much it's just it's what we thought it was going to be. It's ESPN, it's Disney content, it's Star Wars content, whatever that means.
Wait, did you just say ESPN?
I think ESPN's tied into it. If I'm wrong,
that changes the ball game for this.
I'm just saying,
I don't remember us talking about that.
I may be wrong. Just if I'm wrong, then just yell at me. But I want to say it's some kind of sports or news outlet tied to it as well. And it's also Star Wars. It's also Disney. It's also Marvel. So you give me a price point, and what am I not going to have that? It sounds kind of not real. You know what I mean? Like it's just like. Because you're going to be, because what if they just open the Disney Vault? You can just watch Aladdin streaming, or just like the Sleeping Beauty or Bed Knobs and Broomsticks or something weird like Miramax films like Kill Bill, where they just pull everything in from they just totally yank it from Netflix and Hulu and all these other places they've spread themselves thin. They just pull it all in and just put it into Disney Plus. That's worth $20 a month. Plus all the new content, the Rogue One prequel TV show that sounds dumb, all the Marvel stuff that's supposed to be coming out with Falcon and Winter Soldier and the Loki show, and they're
$5
pulling out all
month.
Stops.
Yeah, so it's the same pricing as ESPN Plus, which is also $5.
I'd do it.
Yeah, it's better than DC Universe, $7.99.
I have a gripe with DC Universe. First of all, why isn't DC Universe streamable through my PlayStation or Xbox or anything else but a dang laptop? It's the most inconvenient streaming service on the planet.
It's do things half.
It's a half measure.
Yeah,
it's a half measure.
Halfway.
I'm so mad. Like I would get DC Universe if I could just watch it through my TV. Or watch it through my PlayStation, but no, you can't stream it through anything. You got to stream it through like your tablet or something. I'm like, dude, no, get it together, DC Universe. I want to buy your product, but I'm not going to be hunched over a laptop while I watch Titans. It's not going down, man. Basement. Friday the 13th. Guess who playing Jason? All right, enough of that. No, just ignore it. Don't let it rock. So apparently Warner Brothers wants to make a Johnny Quest movie. Do kids know who Johnny Quest is?
No.
Do kids care?
No, they don't, Dave.
Do you care?
No, I don't.
Moving on. Guys, get it together, man. Nobody. What? Anyway.
Yes. So
hopefully
I'm going to say that this is going to happen more and more as they keep trying to shake the bag of nostalgia. You're going to have certain things fall out where it's like, doesn't quite make sense why they're doing it, but then another one's going to shake out like, oh, they're going to do a He-Man movie. And then
I would super be down for a He-Man movie.
Well, it's not out of the bag yet.
Nope, not yet. You got to wait. Got to wait till this flops.
There's literally some executive's daughter like shaking a bag, and out comes like different nostalgia things. Like it's gonna be a live action Thundercats, and then it's gonna be like Howard the Duck. It's gonna be a true sequel to the George Lucas Howard the Duck, because that's what
that would be awesome. Okay. I would spend so much money if it was like a practical effects Howard the Duck.
Yes.
I didn't mean to, like, I'm being a weird reverse contrarian because I want it, but yeah, we have to wait. Like, you can't have your Thundercats until you have your Johnny Quest.
Right.
Remember when they made that weird but beautiful Tintin movie that nobody saw?
Yes.
It's like Tintin, like what?
And it was like the anime. Everyone loved Tintin. It's like,
right, and it was so well done. Yeah. It was like a beautiful, and it was like it was bleeding edge animation, but Tintin, man, like
European garbage, and then they moved on.
Then they moved on, and we never spoke of it again. But it's still a great animated film. It's just why don't they go online and see what people are screaming about? How about Run Tail Dat? Actually, well, these are two things. Hopefully, people will want. Is Netflix is planning to create a Pacific Rim and Altered Carbon anime.
Yeah. Now, I almost got excited. I thought that when I saw Pacific Rim and Altered Carbon in the same title, there's no way that they're going to make a crossover. But it's sure enough, they are not.
That would be so nuts. They're not. They're not. And it's like, I don't want an Altered Carbon anime. I just want Altered Carbon sequel to the live action show. Yeah. And it's like, that's why do people?
So maybe you can help explain why is it a marketing move or like always an idea in people's minds of like, we're not going to release new live action content, but here is an anime. When it's like, don't animes take longer to?
No, not anymore. 2 words, man. It's cheaper.
Yeah, I could see that.
You don't have to hire set designers and costume designers and big expensive actresses and actors. You get 3 dudes and you throw them in a room and tell them make the show. You get some animators. It's like the Castlevania quote unquote anime that came out on Netflix. It was good. But would I've liked it to be live action? Yeah, that would have been awesome. But just they don't have the budget for that kind of stuff. And Pacific Rim 2 super bombed. Nobody went to go see it. You know what I mean? So I think Pacific Rim as an anime, I'm totally fine with. Fine, CG it up, I don't care. But Altered Carbon, I kind of want my live action sequel or season 2 or whatever you want to call it. Because that show was damn good, and it's not for kids. It shouldn't be like in a digestible anime format if it's not going to be just a rated R gore fest like it was, or anime like kung fu futuristic awesomeness that it was. It seems like another half measure. Like you said, we could just make it anime, because if this was like Studio Ghibli doing it, then it probably wouldn't be much of a pricing adjustment, because that's people actually putting pencil to paper, and just drawing it out old school, Cinderella mode. Now these cats are doing CG models and making it look like old school, but it's not old school, my man.
My man.
It's not old school, my dude.
Yeah, it's just a weird idea. just but I could see them going like, we've got the extra money. Netflix is
Netflix has the money,
it's
dude.
the Wild
Like,
West of like, let's see what sticks to the wall, and
they don't care.
yeah.
Like we're having images of that nuts looking Monster Hunter movie that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Monster Hunter. But I would have been just happy with like a Monster Hunter anime on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been cool with that. Save you guys a lot of time and effort, and save you guys a lot of Emilia Jovovich. Just give us a Monster Hunter anime and do it right. I would have been fine with that. Rather than what we're getting, which is shoot bang military dude fighting a Rathalos in the desert because it's cheap to shoot there. We're looking at you, Transformers. Shut up. Oh. Garbage.
Okay.
Just let that breathe for a second. Garbage.
We'll move on.
Trash. All right. 2 quick things before we close this bad boy out for the news side. Final Fantasy V had like 1,000 years of DLC planned for like the next for the next 1,000 years, but the director just leaves, and all those all that stuff just kind of falls to the wayside. I guess it was starting to cost a little too much money. You know what I mean? So they had to shut that down, which makes me think that maybe they're ramping up for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Fingers crossed. Because we haven't heard about that game in like 5 years. You know?
Sorry, my horse was here for a second.
So
my horse doesn't like
that's
Final
okay.
Fantasy.
He shows up during. He hates Final Fantasy. And the second news, the bigger news, is that Microsoft acquired 2 new studios. One being In Exile Entertainment. They made a couple of pretty good games, but they also acquired Obsidian Entertainment. Obsidian, for those who don't know, are the guys who made Fallout New Vegas. So there's weird whispers that a Fallout New Vegas
South
sequel.
Park: The Stick of Truth.
That was not a bad game. It just was. It played like Mario. It played like the Mario RPG. I just couldn't get through it. It just South Park humor can only go for so long for me. Like, it just runs out after a while.
Oh, how dare you, sir?
I'm so concerned. But yeah, Microsoft just buying studios because they can't be creative on their own. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Hey, when you're charging for your internet and multiplayer, you can get whatever you want.
Jeez, that's the suckiest thing about like PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live.
Right?
It's just, man,
like you're charging for online multiplayer, and then you could also charge another amount for the Gold Pass.
Oh, yeah. Money.
Or not Gold Pass, the Game Pass. Yeah,
the Game Pass where you can just stream games. Uh-huh. PlayStation is the equivalent. It's PlayStation Now, and I don't care. Yep. No. Then you say, yeah. What are you looking forward to this week, Winter?
Well, I'm looking forward to some sleep. Maybe get some notes from our secret project that we're working on. I'll be playing.
It's cooking
some music Friday night at a local fundraiser. Be doing some original content there, and just keep up the recording and internet presence. I'm still toyed with going on Medium and like just releasing some stuff that I have to write elsewhere under the Medium thing, but I still don't know if there'd be a wide enough audience or reason for me to choose Medium itself. Maybe there's like some other stuff,
right?
But
yeah, that just takes a little bit of research to see who the big fish are out there.
Yeah, there's Medium, and then there's like another one that has like the same concept. I can't remember.
Yeah, man, you'll find a place you want to do, man. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, I am contemplating Fallout 76, even though it seems like a dumpster fire right now. I just, it's like back in the day when you would like use LimeWire and you knew you were like destroying your grandmother's computer. Oh, okay, Captain America. Some of us couldn't afford to buy. Okay, that's that's worse. Kids nowadays will never know the struggle of downloading they're taking like an hour to download like a 30 megabyte
Right.
out like song, and then it just trojans up your computer.
That's why you always download them on the school computers, and then you just walk away like the Joker as things just start exploding around you.
Some men just like to watch the world burn. Well, I never thought about that. I just got real good at computers because every other week I was like blue screening my grandmother's computer and I had to fix it before she came home. It's like I had to become a little technician doing factory restores and cracking it open and replacing mother boxes and stuff.
Mother boxes,
like the ones in the Justice League movie. You remember Justice League?
Okay, all right.
Don't you? I'm losing it. Any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah. Don't listen to him about mother boxes. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, guys. If there's an actual mother box in your computer, it's probably not a computer. Or it's a supercomputer.
I don't know what makes it a mother or makes it a box, but it's a mother box.
It's a mother box. Okay. Just so you know, because Winter always makes it sound like I'm saying gross stuff. It's not.
No, I'm not making. You're making it sound like I'm wondering. Like, do you mean motherboard?
I meant motherboard, but my comic book Jim Kirby brain made me say mother box. Okay, I'm trying to clean it up.
Your comic book mind just goes, "Oh, I made something up. Let's turn it into a 5-part series."
Yeah, I remember one time it was like Thanksgiving, and my mom was like, "Can you pass me that?" And I was like, "What? The adamantium foil?" She was like, "Don't you mean aluminum foil?" And I just put my head down.
Then cut to like Goodfellas scene of being whipped with a belt.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Well, I always knew I was a comic book artist.
I left my heart. I'm just getting beaten mercilessly. My love. From that day, I knew I would love comics.
Yeah.
I'll come home.
From a young age, I always wanted to be a comic book artist.
I come home and I'm like totally faded out in like the Marvel Echo line. My mom was like, "Where'd you get the money, Michael?" I'm like, Mom, where'd you get all these comics, Michael?
Adult Swim, I am a freelance writer. Please hire us. We're the
hire us, please. We will do it. We will make you money, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Check out. Just look up Trash Monk III. That's Trash Monk III. And and I'll be doing stuff online.
We'll be doing it. We'll do it. If you like this content and you would like to support us monetarily, please visit our Patreon at mastersofnerdversecast.com. But if you want to support us non-monetarily, you can always leave a like, give us a comment, please subscribe. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I have been your host, Winter.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond Zep into his for you.